Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go over the daily notes. I'm gonna show you guys how I set it up in Kitty, how I used to set it up in Tmux before, and we're also going to discuss a few other topics. You can see here, is the daily note really useful or is it just bloat? Um, what if you want to keep your diary in it? And how I found out about the daily note, how to get to it, demo on how to set it up, demo on how to used to do it with Tmax. Well, not a demo, but we'll see there. And how to create daily notes for the next day, for the next week. And that's basically it. Okay, so I didn't pick a song today. Also, I don't want to turn my camera on. You guys have no idea how much effort it takes to look kind of decent for the videos. Turn the lights on. Nah, it's just takes away 5 minutes of my time and I don't want to spend them doing that. But give it a try. The demo first. Okay, so this is the daily note. Notice the name of this file. It has today's date. And the way that this works is that it's always going to go to the file with that date. If the file does not exist, it's going to create it automatically, right? So doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing. You could be here on the browser, for example, right? You remember something, you need to write something down for that day. You just type a single key or whatever key map you want to configure, and you get to the daily note. In my case, if I type the letter R that you see here, if I just leave it pressed for, I don't know, half a second, less than half a second, it's going to take me to the daily note. Doesn't matter if I'm in a different repo, right? So if I'm in my dot files here, and if I type the letter R, it's going to take me to that specific file. Okay. This is a separate PD session. So I keep the daily notes in a separate session. I keep my dot files in a separate session. I keep my notes in a separate session, stuff like that. Right. So the daily note is just a separate session. We could say a separate workspace that it gets created every day and the file also gets created. Now, is the daily note really useful? Is it just bloat that the little castanites and obsidianites came up with? And what do I really use it for? Okay, so let's mark this and this as well. No, not gonna mark this yet. So when I'm doing something and let's say that I have an interview that I have to do, I don't know, next week or something, I need to write that down somewhere. So, for example, I have an interview with Tony that is coming up next Wednesday. So I created the daily notes for the next week and I added the points that I want to touch that specific day next Wednesday. So they're here. I'm not gonna open them, but just, you know, need somewhere to write stuff. Or like these videos that I do every day, I need to write down what I'm going to say in the video that day only. I don't want to keep all of that in a file and then go and clean that file up. No, this is just like a scratch pad for me, right? Write stuff down that I need to do for that day. If I need to mark it, that's fine. If it stays there, it's fine. I just need somewhere to write something fast. That's it. That's what I use it for. And what about the diary, right? And your journal, what you did for the day. When you start your day, organize your thoughts, plan your day, write it down, and write grateful statements. I tried that and I did it for a few months and I failed. And this is gonna be really embarrassing, but let me show you. Look at this double quotes here. This means that I'm linking to a different file, this file called Debian, and this markdown heading, install and configure SNMP on Debian. I just want to jump to this file so that I can demo how I did this daily note thing in the past. Okay, so I'm just going to type here GD, gonna take me to that file. It's a completely different file. Notice the path for it. Well, you won't be able to see the entire path because I truncated, but if I do a pwd, hold on, pwd, you should see it here. GitHub, Obsidian main, daily note. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm on the GitHub Obsidian main repo. This is just my Obsidian repo. I used to open this in Obsidian in the past. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this is a different file. And the beginning of each file in the past, notice that this is 2023, February 16th. I used to leave this heading there just to link everything that I did on February the 16th that day, right? So what was the purpose of this? If I wanted to revisit, any day in the past, I could see, oh, that day I did this because this note is linked to that specific date, right? So I did this that day. So if I type GD here, this is a file actually, a daily note for 2023, February 16th. So if I do GD here, it's gonna take me to this file. I used to do this in Obsidian, then I did it in NeoVim as well. After I migrated from Obsidian to NeoVim, if you want to learn more about that, uh, have a I have several videos about it actually, but I would recommend you to watch this one. Okay, go and check it out. Let me just copy the video URL. I'm just gonna leave this here, my node file as well, so that I can leave it in the video. Okay. Uh, oh, hold on. Video here. Okay. Just gonna leave the link in the video so you can go and watch that if you want. So go back to where we were here, the daily notes. This is the way that I used to do it. Notice that I used to have grateful statement section, a transcript from the Bhagavad Gita, weekly, my daily log, the stuff that I did in the day, my goals, my to do, active courses. I tried it for a long time. I thought I was being really productive and that I was achieving something. I just wasted a lot of time, to be honest. This coming up with this format of your journal or whatever it's called takes a lot of time, especially if you are this type of person that over optimizes everything to a few months later, just ditch it and discard it. So my advice is just don't go that rabbit hole. I did go down the rabbit hole. Well, you're gonna do it anyway. Doesn't matter what I say. But just wanted to let you know that I did it for a long time. Tried to stick to it. Nah, didn't work for me. Maybe it'll work for you, but you will waste a lot of time. Okay. Now, if you're wondering as well, how do I do the note linking that you saw there? The double brackets. So there's this video. Marksman. Oh, it was there. And this one. I explain all of that stuff in this video. Okay, I'm going to leave it in the video description as well. So, like I explained, I already went through this rabbit hole and I don't recommend it. Go and experience, go and find out and come and tell me 2 years later. Okay, I already did all of that for you. I'm just saving you time. Go and do it. Then you come back and you let me know. Now, I did find out about the daily notes in Obsidian. Okay. The concept is great, but the problem with Obsidian is the friction that you have to go through to be able to get to the daily notes. Why? Because first, you need to open Obsidian, right? Let's say that you're in your terminal. You need to write something down fast, right? So, okay, I'll switch to Obsidian. Let's imagine this is Obsidian. I don't even have it installed, but Once you're in here, you have to press another shortcut or key map. I don't know if there's a key map or not. Press a key map or you type whatever you type to go to daily notes. You go and search in the section where you want to write it down. And no, there's way too much friction. I'm in my terminal already and I want to write my daily notes. I'm in my dots here and I'm okay. Let me go to my daily notes. Single key, I'm there. Write down. Go back to where I was. Okay, so for me personally, this is way less friction, way more effective. Let's say that I'm editing a video and I remember something. And I'm like, oh, okay, I need to write that down. Single key, I'm here, write it down, go back to what I was doing. I do something similar with my skitty-notes file. I have it in another key, the letter E. If I type it, it's gonna bring me here. And this is like a permanent file. I don't wanna change this every day. I want to keep it the same, right? So here is where I keep my to-dos and video ideas, stuff like that. This doesn't change. It's always the same. I mark tasks here. The daily notes is different, just a scratch pad, just like I said at the beginning of the video. Okay, so you can do it in Obsidian, yes. There's way more friction, yes. Do I recommend doing it in Neovim? Yes. Is it a little bit more complex to set up any of them? Yes. So I already demoed this. How I get to it with a single key, no matter what app I'm on. If you have doubts on how to do this, I have an entire playlist in Kanata. I explain everything in detail. Go and check it out. I'm going to leave it in the video description as well. And okay, how I set up Kitty sessions. Okay, so if you can tell the name of this session, this Kitty session is this. If I go to my dot files, you will be able to see that this Kitty session name is dot files. If I go to my Obsidian repo, you can see the name here. Okay, so I used to use Tmux and I used Tmux sessions for a long time. I love Tmux, is one of my favorite things in life, how I can switch between terminals and just have a single configuration Tmux. But are you really using the terminal or you're just using Tmux, right? I wanted to use Kitty and all the features that it comes with. I know that if I switch to a different terminal in the future, I will have to relearn key maps and all that. Yeah, whatever. But so far Kitty without Tmux has been working great. If you want to know how to set up Kitty sessions, I have two videos. This is the first one. Hold on, not this. So this is the first one 3 weeks ago. I would recommend you to check this one 2 weeks ago. I explained how I set up stuff there. Now, I used to do this daily note with Tmux in the past, like I mentioned um, a few minutes before. It worked the exact same way, actually. Okay. And I also have a video if you want to learn how to do that. Oh, there it was, daily note. I recorded this a year ago. Okay. So I set it up in Tmux there and explain stuff there. I'm going to leave the video, the link to the video in the description as well, in case you wanna go and check it out. How do I create the next day's daily note? Let's say that today is Sunday, right? I already created next week's daily note yesterday. That's why you see that is here until Saturday. But sometimes you're in the day and you're like, man, I would like to write something for tomorrow, right? So I have a key map daily. Hold on. Let me just filter by the ones that have specifically the daily word. So here, create next day's daily note. I have this key map. You will be able to find this in my dot files. Okay, so the information is there. There is also another key map. Notice that this create next day's daily note. This is to create the next week's daily note. So it creates 7 files for the next week. You could modify this and do it for the next 30 days if you want to create the next month, but I don't usually need it. There's some days that I don't even open the daily notes, so I don't care too much. But um, whatever date you're on is gonna create 7 days more, right? So if you were here Saturday, it's gonna create 7 days after that file, that specific daily note file. So again, you will be able to find all of that in my key maps file in my dot files. If you like them, give them a star as well. Also, do you like the way that I manage tasks? You notice here that I mark something, I want to get rid of it and I want to move it somewhere else. I don't want it to keep here. This is really useful when I'm doing interviews. I could mark them like this, right? Just toggle them with letter X. No, I just want them gone, basically. And I want to keep track of the time up when I marked a task, right? Notice that they show up here. If I do again, it untoggles it. And if I mark it again, you're gonna notice that the time updates. Let's just give it a minute. Let's see if it um, is going to update to the next minute. I'm just going to mark it again. No, I just left. Yeah, 6:17. Is that the time? Yeah, 6:17 a.m. Same time. Okay, because didn't even pass a minute. Whatever. So that's what I wanted to cover about the daily note. Is it just bloat? You tell me. What do you think? It has its use cases. Okay. If you want to have a scratch pad, something temporary for that date in which you want to capture actual stuff, right? If you want to be extra and you want to do that journal and my diary and what did I do today, how I feel, all that crap, go and do it. If you can sustain it for 2 years, you let me know how it went. Uh, yeah. So the last thing that I want to do is thank the CEOs, Web to 3, web to3.com. You won't see the name on the screen right now. And something else that I wanted to show you guys is that all of the interviews that I do are available as a podcast now. So let me go here. Oh, hold on. To Spotify. And I have this Linkar Soup podcast. Notice that I have been uploading them September 13, 13, 13. You know, I'm not there yet. There's still a lot that I haven't uploaded, but you can find them in Spotify, in all of the other podcasting platforms. If you don't find them in one, just let me know. I'm going to upload them there as well. Also, I have an announcement. I have an interview with Tony. You probably know Tony. If you follow my channel, you definitely know Tony. So where is it? Oh no, hold on. Switch here. This is the one. Okay, so look at that thumbnail. God damn, coming good at this. So we're gonna live stream it next Wednesday, and it's going to be for members only, the live stream, but the video is going to be released like a week after that. I think so. A couple weeks after that, so everyone will be able to watch it. Okay, so that's it for today, and hope this was useful. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. All right, so I just realized that I finished the video, that I didn't even show you guys how to set up the daily note. I was gonna upload it like that, but I said like, man, just gonna show them. Like 100 people is gonna watch this video anyway, so why do I even care, man? But let's do it. It's part of the tasks that I was gonna cover today. So let's jump to my dot files, okay? And here in the dot files, you will be able to see that. Let's jump to my Kanata file, okay? And daily notes, okay? Notice that I have a macro here. This macro, where is it? Daily notes here. Macro focuses Kitty, then it presses Control B, it waits a delay, and then it presses the letter I. Okay, so this does Control B I in Kitty. Okay, so now let's switch to the Kitty configuration file. And look at this control BI. What does this do? Kitty has this key map. When this is pressed, run this, launch daily note. This is an alias. The alias is here, right? Launch daily note, and it's just going to execute the script. 300 daily note that is age, right? So let's just go to this file, gf here, gonna take me to the file. This is the file that creates the daily note file, and that also creates the daily note kitty session. It does both of the things, right? So you can specify the directory where you want to create the daily note, the format, all that stuff is specified here. The contents of the daily note, I specify them here. Simple, basic stuff. I don't need too much. And have two ways of doing this. This is the old way, doing it with kitty sessions. And no, this is the new way with kitty sessions. This is the old way when I used to do it with Tmux, what I cover in the other video, right? So pretty simple stuff. Here is my kitty session file. Let me go to that file so you can see what it's about. GF is gonna take me there. So this is where I just create a session with this title, and I open NeoVim basically. Notice that here's NeoBean. That's my NeoVim um, configuration, we could say, right? And go to the bottom of the file. Or is this the top? Uppercase G, top, bottom? I don't care. I don't remember. And this is the file that I open, right? Notice that is pointing to the daily node file that the script creates. So this is just kitty session file. Control O. Let's go back. You just keep that in mind, okay? So then pretty simple stuff. I grep for the node name in the file, which is this part here. Just grep for this in this kitty session file, right? If it exists in that file, I just go to that session, okay? If it does not exist, I replace it in that file, right? Because today is September 14th, so it matches. Tomorrow is going to be September 15th, so it's going to compare, right? Does this file exist there? September 15 Monday.md. If it does not exist, it's going to replace that in the file, right? So that's what I do here with the, what do I use? Awk. Yep. I replace that in the file. Then I close the session in case that the session from the day before is open, and I go to the session. The only time that we reach this point is if the date doesn't match. Otherwise, we always stay here, right? We don't need to do any modification or anything, and we exit, right? So if it matches, if it already exists, we just go to it and we exit. We don't continue here. So that's basically what I do for the daily notes. Not using Tmux, just doing it with kitty sessions. It has been working just fine. Okay, remember, I'm in my browser, and if I type here R, just gonna take me there, and that is done thanks to Kanata. Where's my Kanata file? Here. That is done with this. Okay, so that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video.